on?
Yeah.
Are we on? Oh. And we are so back.
Is that your new intro?
every
week.
week.
We're so back.
We are so back. Back and better than ever.
And now you have an official microphone.
I know. I feel so fancy. It's real. It's legit. We're moving up in the world.
Moving up. Getting all of the new equipment to take the podcast to bigger and better places. Yeah, absolutely.
Literally, I've already been scouted by multiple talent agencies. Like, it's crazy. Like, the amount of calls that I have gotten this past week since being part of this beautiful podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
welcome to Dysfunctionally Yours, the podcast where we embrace the chaos, laugh through the struggles, and find hope on the other side of trauma. I'm your host, Brittany, and if you've ever felt like your life was a beautifully messy roller coaster of dysfunction, trust me, you're in good company. Here, we'll have real, raw, and sometimes ridiculous conversations about mental health, relationships, and healing. Because let's be honest, life isn't always pretty, but that doesn't mean we can't come out of it stronger and maybe even smiling. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of bubbles, and let's navigate this wild journey together, dysfunctionally, but never alone.
I'm thinking about hiring an assistant, honestly, to like start taking my calls, because like it is just getting crazy. Like, literally at least once a day. It's crazy. Like, and I'm just so busy.
I'm thinking about hiring an assistant to screen my TikToks that you send me.
My algorithm is not schizophrenic. I swear. It is all rational. We got some dolphin I'm telling you, the internet agrees. Like, I sent you one this morning, I think, about like I never met Gerald, but I 100% believe Gerald.
You believe Gerald.
And the AI fruit.
Can we take a minute to talk about the AI fruit? Like, I'm afraid to talk about Gerald anymore, simply because the TikTok tried so hard to drag me over that. Like, I love that TikTok can take a 45-second clip over what is an entire conversation and just be like, we're going to drag you guys for this. And I'm like, but you didn't need to drag me, because if you actually just listened to the actual podcast, you would have known that it was a full conversation. But critical thinking, it's not, and that's not everybody's forte.
I heard Gerald's good at critical thinking.
Gerald's good at kidnapping. So
I don't think it was kidnapping. I think it was an offer, and that man accepted that offer. He built that underwater city by hand.
Somebody was like, dolphins are so intelligent, why do they need a human? And my response was opposable thumbs.
Exactly.
Opposable thumbs. Like, we do have something that they do not, and that is a thumb. But yes, let's talk about these AI fruits, because they originally started, well, I don't know where they originally started. I'm not going to pretend that I do.
The origins of AI fruit.
But like,
I made the first tomato on TikTok. Thank you all very much.
I just remember the first ones that I saw were like maybe an onion telling you not to store it in the refrigerator, or rice telling you not to use leftovers. Like, it was like helpful tips and tricks for like life hacks for the household, for household items or fruit.
I actually forgot that that's how it started.
That's what I remember.
Because it did. It did start with like, oh, I'm broccoli. Don't like leave me out on the counter or something random like that, because then I'll get sad and weep and then wilt away and die.
Yes.
And now it's like, I literally watched a cherry give birth to a half chocolate bar cherry baby this morning.
Yes. Well, and like, it's in series. It's like a whole series. So you have like the carrot holding an eggplant baby, and then like the cucumber dad like going out to buy groceries and falling in love with Mrs. Orange at the grocery store. And then he comes home.
And they just so willingly, they're like, goodbye.
And then, like, he gets married at the grocery store and brings Mrs. Orange home. And then the carrot and the eggplant baby are like, whatever will we do? First of all, babe, why did you walk out of the house? Because I would have been like, mother, fucker. get Miss Orange out of here because me and this baby live right here. Like, no. And it's like, part 2. Okay, I'm not looking for part 2. I don't want to know what happens.
I look for part 2.
I think she became a criminal. I think that the carrot with the eggplant baby, I think I saw a part 2 somewhere along the way, and I think she became a whole criminal.
What was the AI fruit video where was it the eggplant mom that was like hands up motherfuckers or something like that, and like I don't know. I've watched so many at this point that I truly just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I watched I think it was a lemon have gender affirming surgery and become a potato, which I honestly I thought that was beautiful. Like they're just like happy little potato, like a happy little potato now. The lemon parents didn't quite understand at first, but they came around and like that circle I just thought was beautiful.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. So that's fun. That's what we're using with AI.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love like it's kind of like I got to be like, "Oh, everyone quiet. My soaps are on."
AI fruit soaps.
My AI fruit soaps are on. My stories. Oh right. My stories.
Yeah. Right. The stories.
I about made a bad gay joke with holding you're like, here, hold it closer. And I was like, well, I should know how to do that. I'm gay, but
it's okay. All right. What is your ache and relief of the week?
My ache of the week. My ache of the week is actually I'm gonna be serious for a minute, which I know, like the silence in the room, like you could have heard a pin just drop. That's crazy. My ache of the week is I don't know. I had so many different like emotions this week. I felt like I had days where like I was doing really well. I'm like killing it. I'm crushing it. I'm doing all the things. I'm like a stellar husband, a stellar person at work, like doing all the things, being helpful. And then I had a couple of days where I like was at the totally opposite end of the spectrum where I was like feeling super anxious, had a lot of anxiety, just like kind of like shutting down a little bit, not being as like responsive to people. And I think that that comes and goes. That's that's anxiety for you. That's that anxiousness. But it got me thinking about like how truly fragile and complex we are as human beings. Because like I can sit here on this couch all day and crack jokes and like LOL, like, oh, lots of like, AI fruit and dolphins built making civilizations. And all of that's fine. But I also think that like it just made me realize like how just kind of fragile we are as human beings when it comes to our emotions and how complex and how many layers there actually are to things, and not just things but like relationships, whether that be like marriages, friendships, um, your role as like a brother, a sibling, like whatever that looks like. And I've just been really thinking about that a lot lately and how like I don't know. I think they're like we can joke and say like, "Oh yeah, I kind of feel like shit today. Like I'm not like my normal happy peppy self. Like, yeah, but it'll be fine tomorrow." But it's like actually taking a moment to like step back and think, because I had that realization. I was hanging out with some friends this week and I just like got anxious for no reason in particular other than like my body was like, "It's time. So we're going to do it now."
Yeah, I feel that.
And so I kind of started disengaging from like my friends, and I wasn't being as present for nothing in particular other than just like having some anxiety. And it's like, it just kind of got me thinking like we are very fragile, complex creatures.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like I joke a lot with my emotions because that's kind of how I process and do things. But then taking a step back, it's like, oh, actually, these emotions are very complex and there's lots of layers to them.
Yeah.
Which makes me slightly uncomfortable because I tend to be a person that's like, I'll bottle it all up inside until I just like explode in this giant volcano style of like, yeah, where the lava's pouring out, the smoke's pouring out. The ash is falling from wherever. Maybe it was me that destroyed Pompeii. I really don't know.
Maybe you're the reason everything's happening in Hawaii right now.
I can't believe that I could potentially be responsible for the fall of a whole civilization. That's crazy.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. It was Chris's fault.
The textbooks are wrong. You heard it here
It
first.
was Chris.
It was me.
All right. I mean, but I think that that's real, right? Like it is real to sort of end up taking in so many of the feelings, right? Whenever we stop and pause long enough, that's whenever like that wall comes down. Like we get comfortable, we feel safe where we are. Maybe things aren't so crazy and stressful, and so you're able to just like breathe, and in that moment of like a breath, it's like the floodgates are now open about all of those things. And I think that that's really real, especially for like an overthinker, especially for ADHD or things like that, right? Not that it would be abnormal for your atypical human, but like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, it was very much the amount that goes on in your brain at all times whenever that is how your brain operates. So it can be floodgates. So, and those can come with intense feelings too. So yeah, and I agree. We are very fragile, but that's a lot. What's your relief? What's your relief?
What is my relief of the week? Honestly, I think my relief of the week is going to come from today, potentially. So it's a potential relief of the week.
Okay.
Depending on like timing and how things work out. But I am planning on making like an authentic Italian. The internet's going to fucking roast me for this because I know Italians don't do spaghetti and meatballs, but I am going to make an Italian spaghetti and meatballs like from scratch. Like I'm going to make my own meatballs. Like they're going to be seasoned with all the things. Like I'm going to make my own sauce from scratch. I'm going to bake bread. I'm going to make my own bread today.
Okay.
I got like once every like few months when I feel like cooking finally, I just like go kind of crazy and I'm like, I want to bake. I want to make everything from scratch. Like I do this like once every like quarterly almost, like, and it turns out like not to toot my own horn, but I am a fabulous baker. Like like everyone has like that one hidden talent or that thing that they can do. Like I wish mine would have been like singing so I could be like an international pop star like Sabrina Carpenter. Love you, girl. If you ever see this, love you. But instead, I discovered that my hidden talent, and I believe we all have one, my hidden talent is baking. Like I can, and I'm honestly a good cook too when I want to.
Yeah.
But baking, like I made homemade cinnamon rolls.
Those looked so good when you sent me the picture. I'm like, why am I only getting a photograph of these? Like, I feel like maybe this is your way of saying I actually hate you. Like,
well, you gotta be around when I'm baking if you want some of the goods.
You're like baking at weird times of the day too. Like,
well, I have to start early, like to make cinnamon rolls that are going to be warm and gooey and fresh out of the oven for an after dinner treat. Like, I have to start that
sweet treat.
I have to start that like 4 hours in advance. Let me tell you, cinnamon rolls, they take a minute because I gotta let that dough sit. Like, I gotta make sure. And let me tell you, when I bake from the heart. Okay. And even though people are like, you need to be so precise with baking, you need to have this much baking powder, this much baking sugar or soda. No, you don't. They're lying.
He's a good baker, though.
They're lying. Like, you absolutely do not. I bake from the heart. And let me tell you, that dough, the dough that I made for those cinnamon rolls, the best dough, like, I don't know. It was solid dough. I've remade the chocolate cake from Matilda.
Right.
I've made Harry Potter butterbeer caramel cookies.
Those sound delicious.
But yeah, today I'm gonna try making homemade, authentic, don't roast me, spaghetti and meatballs, Italian style with fresh baked bread of some sort. I was gonna do something sweet, but authentic spaghetti and meatballs and bread sounded like enough today.
Sounds like a process. That is okay. Well, that'll be fun. My ache. Why do I forget my ache every time I walk through this door?
It's because you're overpowered by
There's so much relief.
You're just so happy to see me that like you don't have any aches anymore.
I think yes, that's obviously the case. I think like my ache of the week is, and now I've forgot it again, but I would say just this overall like
You say as you forgot it and you continue to go into it.
well, I mean, I can come up with something on the fly, but like I feel like I had a particular like I'm going to go in and this is going to be my
This is
ache.
the ache
Yeah.
this week.
I do good when I write these things down, like when I come in with notes, and I came in with no notes today.
Good.
So
We're going to wing it and it's going to be fine. And then here we are.
So it was, I think, whenever you are surrounded by a large group of people all of the time, it is just sort of undoubtedly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a word. Undoubtedly. Indubitably.
It is inevitable that you start to feel some of those like group feelings, right? So like then whenever they start to talk about like morale and things like that, because you see it, and even if it's not your own personal feeling, like you can see other people having a hard time or other people suffering or things like that, and so you do take on some of that. If you're even have an ounce of empathy in your body, you take on a little bit of that and it impacts you. And so I think I've seen just a little bit of that this week. Not necessarily my own stuff per se, but I've watched some people around me really go through some things, and it's heavy on in their own space. And so that feels like that morale just feels kind of like kind of poopy, but like I said, it's not anything of like my personal, it's just absorbing others' stuff, and that can be heavy sometimes, navigating that. And not taking it on to be like, oh, do I feel this way too? No, I don't feel this way too.
You know what I think actually improves morale?
Tell me.
If you need something to just make you smile or give you a little laugh, I would just YouTube Fergie singing the national anthem at that basketball game, and then I think you'll get a instant serotonin boost.
Serotonin boost. Yeah, I mean maybe that's just
love you, girl, but that wasn't
tragic.
it. That wasn't it. Tragic. And literally, we never heard from her again. Like she had that moment, and she has been out of the spotlight since then.
Well, sometimes you just have to run and lick your wounds.
Oh, poor Fergie.
My relief of the week. Why did I forget my relief of the week as I was sitting right here?
Because I be up in the gym just working on my fitness.
Here's my witness. Whee! You're not helping me. My poor little brain cells. No, my relief of the week. I was so productive yesterday. Like, so productive. I got up. I even was like, I'm going to sit around and I'm going to binge watch. Now, I know you're not a big reality TV guy, but there is big things happening with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now.
Okay. I like reality TV.
Yeah, but you don't watch it like I do.
Well, no, but...
So, big things happening with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now, and one of the characters, she was supposed to be the Bachelorette, and they pulled the Bachelorette for this season. So just chaos is happening right now. And so I was like, with all of this new information that's come out, I'm going to go back to season 1 and I'm going to binge them all again to make a timeline. This was my plan. I was like, I don't really have plans this weekend. I'm going to relax. I'm going to putter around the house and I'm going to do
We're just going to do silly adult things.
We're going to do, I was like, I'm going to do Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, like professional deep dive of my own instead of letting social media tell me what the answers are.
It's like your JonBenet Ramsey, your own little JonBenet Ramsey. I'm working on the case still, by the way.
I remember when she died. That's how old I am.
Was I alive when she died?
No.
What year was that?
90. Was it 94 or 96?
No, I want to say 96, and I was not alive.
Yeah, you weren't born yet. So, right. So anyways, but I didn't even get anything watched at all on TV. I was so productive. I put furniture together. I cleaned my storage. I created like 4 different boxes to go to donate. I called the donation people who are going to come pick it up tomorrow. I cleaned my house. I did all kinds of things. I talked to my son on the phone. I did so much
you hit
stuff.
all the boxes. You hit like cleaning, putting things together, checking off your family, like, hi, how you doing? You're alive? Great. We'll talk soon.
Yes.
Like, oh.
I got everything. I got everything done. It was a very, very, very productive day.
That's such a good feeling, honestly. Like, you have to feel so on top of the world when you're like, wow, like I have groceries in the house.
Yes.
Like the house is housing.
Yes.
It's functioning.
100%.
It's living. Like you're thriving. Like I'm talking to people. Like I'm calling people on the phone.
Yes.
Like,
I like A+ human. I remember 100%. What my week. I remember what my ache was now. So my ache was in part of all of this, like being so productive. I was gonna go get my bike fixed. So I have a bike that back whenever my brother was still alive, we went on a bike ride, and he is a menace to society, and stuck his foot in my spokes while we were riding, and so we crashed. He broke his foot, and he broke my bike. And then
oops.
I know.
No.
I have not TikTok. I have like videos on my phone from that incident, and I'm like, what did we learn? What did we learn? And he's like, I didn't learn shit. And I was like, did we learn not to put our foot in people's bikes while they're riding? And he's like, no, I didn't learn shit. And I'm like, it's hilarious every time I see it. But nonetheless, my bike has been broken since then. So my bike has been broken since 2022. And I could not bring myself to get rid of my bike, and I couldn't bring myself to fix my bike. It was just really like, this is
it's one of those. It's just gonna sit in this place for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And if we get to it, great. If we don't, it's still here, and I'm not willing to part with it.
I just could not bring myself to fix it. And then this, this past winter, I'm like, I think it's time. I think it's time to fix my bike and like go on a bike ride again. But like I didn't want to. Like it's like some
work
healing,
out those
right?
thighs.
Like some like healing stuff going on. And so I was like, all right, cool. Today is the day. I call the bike place. Hey, can you fix my bike? I think this is what's wrong with it. They said, yeah, just bring it in. I'm like, amazing. Look how productive I'm being. I get off the phone with my son, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get my bike fixed, and I'm going to go wash my car. And
a car wash.
I know.
Wow. Yeah.
I know. So I load my bike up into my car. I get into my car to pull up the address again, and it's like closed. And I was like, no, they don't close until 4. What's wrong with this? It's 4:27.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, no. Oh, fuck. Right. Like I was so mad about it because I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I go someplace different? No, I'm not going to go someplace different. I'm going to go to the place that I called.
Yeah, because I already tried now. So they know that I be needing a bike that needs fixed.
So
obviously I can't go anywhere else.
No, so I had to unload my bike. And I was like, because I was like, do I just leave it in my car until they don't open it until Tuesday? And I know I'm not making it over there during the week. I was like, do I just leave it in my car for the week? And I'm like, no, I'm not driving around all week with my bike in the back of the car. So no, I had to unload my bike. Then I was like, well, there's no sense leaving my house to go get a car wash if I'm not already leaving for this. Like, why on earth would I leave to go do that? So those,
God forbid, yeah.
So those 2 errands got like thwarted, and I was like, I'll wash my car on my way back from Chris's.
Ooh,
today. So that's a today issue.
Okay.
And the bike, we'll see what happens, because we might get to next weekend and I might be like, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Yep, like we tried last week. That ship sailed.
Yeah.
Fun fact about bike riding.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you this story? You're going to be shocked.
Okay.
Like, I truly think you're going to be just blown away by this information.
Let me practice my shock face.
So
okay, I'm ready.
I wouldn't consider myself to be a bike riding connoisseur by any means.
Okay.
When I was probably, I don't know, 10 years old, well, maybe I was younger. I don't know. I got my first, not my first, yeah, maybe my first bike. And so like,
You got your first bike when you were 10?
I don't remember probably, but
Did you
anyway,
learn to ride a bike before you were 10?
this is this is the story.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I probably had one. No, I definitely had a bike earlier than that, actually, now that I'm thinking
He
about it.
says.
Like 5, maybe 5, 6. I don't know. Somewhere between the ages of 5, 6 to 10, I had a bike. And I was like learning how to ride it, right? Like
Yeah.
my parents were like, okay, here's how you like showing me in the driveway, all those things.
Okay.
So here's what happened. I got on my bike. I was doing well for like, I don't know, 4 seconds. And then like I wiped out.
Okay.
And like I skinned my knee and I looked at the bike and I never got back on a bike ever again.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know how to ride a bike because when I was like 10, I skinned
oh my
God. I skinned my knee and I was like, no, why would anyone fucking do this? This is like a torture machine. I'm not gonna.
You've never gotten back on another bike?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because that one fall, and plus the gravel was dirty, like it was dusty. Ew. Like I don't like that. Like
I see there were early signs.
Man, that closet was glass, like see-through. Like I as if do you believe in life after love wasn't enough at like 6 years old. But here I am, like trying to ride a bike. I wipe out.
It's dirty.
Like, and there's dust in my wound. So anyway, my bike ended up just collecting a bunch of dust and a lot of like I kind of just left it outside, so it just kind of got rusty and real crappy. But yeah, that's my story about riding a bike. So like, yeah, if my husband was ever like, do you want to go do this romantic bike tour across Italy or wherever we go,
you would turn him down, or you just wouldn't know how to do it?
So I wouldn't turn him down. I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't be upset if he pedaled and I was like in the back, like
a little side cart.
Yeah, or something to where like I didn't have to do any of the work.
Okay.
Because then also like, I mean, it's great for your thigh. Like it is a great workout, but also I don't know if I'm trying to be sweaty in Italy. You know what I mean? So like I need some shade and I need to be cool and I need to just be like the passenger princess. So like. So yeah, all of that to say, because I wiped out one time on gravel and skinned my knee, I was like, I'm done with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a fun fact, and that is surprising to me, actually. So, who knew? Okay, we talked a little bit last week. I said, do you want to hear my LGBT journey?
Oh, yes. Please share.
So I have braced myself all week to be criticized and judged.
Okay. I mean, I don't do that. So, you know me.
Never.
Like I'm always about like people's learning journey, empathy.
And that's, I think like that is, it's definitely a learning journey from where like I started to today where, like here we are.
You're like Madonna.
Hey, what a great compliment.
Right?
What? You heard it here first. I'm like Madonna.
With a net worth of 800 million.
Right. All right. Let's put that into the world. So I grew up here. I literally had friends that lived two streets over.
Whoa, you grew up in my house? That's crazy.
Well, like I had friends that lived like 2 streets over. So like I grew up in this area of Colorado, right? And I would say that there were no gay people here. This is what I would say.
Wow.
I know, wild, right? So I grew up in a household where, and I've always thought this was a strength. And then whenever I was actually thinking about this, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have raised my kids that way. So maybe it's not a strength.
Okay.
So I grew up where my parents didn't actually ever push their thoughts onto me.
Okay.
Which I think is a strength, right? So I learned what like it was to be gay from health class. Nobody told me anything. It wasn't all over TV. There wasn't anything. So it was just sort of something that like I learned about in some health class about sexuality or whatever. And I'm like, and I had big opinions on this because I had never seen it. I'd never experienced it. I was not aware of it. It wasn't anything my parents ever talked about.
I think I learned from the underwear aisle, to be honest, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Did the underwear have AIs that came out to teach you? Did Fruit of Loom come and like tell you what it
No,
was
but
to be gay?
just the models, and I'm like, maybe
You
maybe
learned-
that's okay.
I got you. Okay, what? I got you. I got you.
I made you short circuit for
I
a
know,
minute. You're
I'm
like,
like, what do you
where are you
mean?
going with this?
Like, I don't get it. Well, that makes sense. But so I really didn't know. And so I went home and I was like, I learned about being gay. And I had these big feelings that came out of it and was like, that's not okay. That's not allowed. That is gross. Yeah. And I would talk about it, and then I would pull into like church stuff that came into it, and I'd be like, and God said this, and God said that, and really would have these big feelings, and I would say them to my parents, and my parents would never feed into it in any way, shape, or
They were
form.
just like,
They just like let me ramble about it. And so to the extent that I say they didn't force their opinions on me, I think that is great. Because I also don't know what their opinions might have been. They probably had some I learned later on they did have their own opinions and they were not very favorable, and that has shifted too. So I think it's great that they didn't spew like any type of like hatred. They never said that I was right or wrong.
They just kind of let it be.
They just let it be. I got into high school and I met a girl. Her name was Morgan. She tells
Morgan.
hey Morgan.
Shout out.
She tells me she's bi. We'd been friends for years. And she tells me she's bi. And I'm like, well, I guess that's okay. Like, cause I like Morgan. So I'm like,
sure, you're my friend. So like, I guess, yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
Never talked about it again. There was never any more conversation. There was never, that was just sort of that.
I imagine her, like how I imagine this all going down, like you're in between classes and she just quickly whispers, I buy, and then keeps going. And then you never talk about it again.
It was sort of similar. Like, I think we were at lunch one day and she just randomly is like, yeah, I'm bi, but I'm dating whatever his name is. And she's like, but I like girls too. And it was like, oh. And then
cool.
I did ask her, I was like, but not me, right? And she's like, no. And I said, okay. And like, that was that. That was all. That was the end of the end. And so I don't know that my feelings probably changed anywhere along that. It was still very much like, you shouldn't be gay, but also Morgan is bi, so maybe it's okay. And now maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about, right? So then fast forward a little bit, only a little bit, because I moved to San Diego whenever I was 17. So I moved to 17.
Gay capital of the world.
Right. I moved when I'm 17.
Let's go.
And we moved to Hillcrest, which is in fact like the gay part of San Diego. And we're driving down the street and every building on this street has a gay flag. Every building has some sort of something or other going on. There's a gay club on one side. There's a lesbian martini bar on the other side. There are people walking around in their short jorts and holding hands, literally the mesh tops.
Yes. Oh my God, it's the vibe.
Men holding hands, women holding hands, everybody just like living their happy little lives away. And I'm fascinated. Like me with my 17-year-old pregnant self, eyes as big as saucers, and I'm taking it all in. Like, wow. Yeah, I was really quite fascinated, and it was like my favorite street to drive down because I'm just like, right, I love watching people, and if I can't know people, I'm gonna watch people. So like I'm just trying to take in as much as I can. Now this is gonna age me a tiny bit more.
I don't think anything could age you
because I'm Madonna. The internet was just starting to be booming, right? It was like dial up still, but it was all the AOL chat rooms.
Oh, gosh.
With like age, sex, location, and chat rooms for all of the different types of things.
Well, I can't believe we thought that was safe. Wow.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Like, yeah, that's a whole that can be a whole nother episode.
That's
honestly,
wild.
that is wild.
No, we were doing some wild things back then.
Like Kick or Meggle. Like
we were doing crazy things at that time in the world. So, I go on because I'm like, I need to find, like, I was married at that time. He was deployed all the time. So I'm just in San Diego all by myself.
Surrounded by all these fabulous
Surrounded by
gays.
all these gay people. There was a gay guy that lived across the courtyard from me, and he used to blast, "Do you believe in life after love?" all the time, and cool lights, and he'd have friends come over, and I'm like peeping Tom out my window, staring at what's going on in his house.
Can I come to your party?
I used to try
you
to
look so cool.
Yeah, I used to try to be so friendly to him, hoping he would just like embrace me. That didn't happen. And so I would go into the chat rooms and I'd be like, no lies are spoken here. And I would be like, I'm just looking for a gay best friend. Like I was really on a search for a gay best friend because
we're not that hard to find.
Well, when you're 17 with a newborn baby in a foreign land, it was harder than you would have thought. So that didn't work. That was a very unsuccessful attempts to find a gay best friend on AOL chat rooms.
Did you put a Craigslist ad out there?
Did I? No, I don't. I didn't.
17-year-old married female seeking gay companionship. Please respond.
Sounds like a way to get myself like brutally axed. Like horrific way. Actually,
the door's open. It's unlocked. Please come in. Like,
to me and my baby.
We can watch some bad movies and giggle and eat soups and get all fat and sassy.
Soups. What kind of soups are we eating? What kind of soups are we eating?
We're just eating some soups and getting all fat and happy.
Oh no, there's lots of soups.
Bring your own soup. Bring your own. It's bring your
BYS.
own. BYS. Bring your own soup to the gay outing.
I'm gonna come over with a can of soup next time I come over here.
Do you want
soup?
Do you want broccoli cheddar or beef stew?
God. Okay. Yeah. It was just like that. Unsuccessful attempts. Okay. So we fast forward a little bit, and now I live in Italy, and now I have met a real life gay person, a real one.
Were the other gays in San Diego not real?
I didn't know them,
alive?
so I hadn't met them. But now I've met one of my own.
Okay.
Now I know your name.
Okay.
I'm not searching for you on AOL. You are a real person that I have met that is also not going to come bring soups or kill me under the disguise of bringing soups. So she's like a friend of a friend.
Right.
Like, so I meet her, a friend of a friend, and she's very cool, very chill. See her around. She's very like, hey, hi. Also quite a star. Like you notice her a million miles away. Oh. Everybody knows her.
I know that exact feeling. I absolutely like, yeah. No, so I totally get it.
Right. So it was, and I was so intrigued. I'm like, I want to know her more. Right. Like, I feel like I need to be more than just an acquaintance. Like we need to be friends. So we are friends. We're sitting in a car one time, me and her and our other friend. And she's venting about a fight that she just got in with her girlfriend.
Oh.
So I'm listening to her talk about this fight. And law enforcement was called. And I'm listening to it. And my response is, she called law enforcement for that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, that's so gay. Silence. Crickets.
I know my reaction.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh honey, no.
And so we're like in a car. We're in a very close confined space. And both of them just look at me, just very like
bonk.
And it's like it all plays out in my head so quick. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I opened the car and I ran away. Like I legit ran away.
Was the car moving?
No.
Okay.
We were just in the parking lot talking.
Oh, okay.
And I ran away. And I ran to my car and I drove home. I was mortified. I was humiliated. I realized in that moment, that was the moment I realized that words matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it was probably like I'd always been told words matter. My parents had a very long, lengthy, no, it was not a long, lengthy list. It was a list of like 1, the N word, and 2, the F word that I was not allowed to say. Like those words I was not allowed to say, period, the N, and that was the end of it. But like there were so many other things that we said at that time, right? Everybody threw around, that's so gay, or that's retarded, or
God, the R word. Yeah.
right, other things that are just really, we've now learned that
I remember that being a thing even when I was in high school, like people saying like that's so gay. And it's interesting that you bring that up because coincidentally, I saw a TikTok, maybe it was last night or this morning, about like somewhat like a younger gay, I mean not younger than me, but a younger gay man that was on TikTok, and he was like, you know, can we stop saying things like that's so gay, like that's such a negative, like
it's horrible,
like association to make, like life is hard enough, like why do we need to do that? So it's interesting, like, and I do feel like, I don't know, maybe it's who I surround myself with now. I feel like I personally don't hear that phrase
I
as
haven't
often.
heard it in
I was gonna
20
say,
years.
but I also don't know like what younger generation, I mean, again, not younger than me, but the generations that are slightly under me, like what they, like how they interact. And I've read things that are like they're actually more tolerant of like, or more accepting, I should say. And so I think they are probably more quicker to shut something like that down than like my generation would have been.
Yeah.
As an older, the oldest Gen Z, like it was different time. It was a different time.
Because you would have been coming up in that time where it was like we were still saying it and we hadn't quite come to the realization that like this is not necessarily okay. And some people might realize it's not okay, but the larger majority haven't realized that it's not okay, right?
Exactly.
So so that was this like horrible moment, and I felt horrible. And so then I'm like, I end up seeing her again across a food court, and I was like,
that same day?
No.
Okay, I was like, okay, so we went from their car to your car to a food court all on the same day. Like, that was crazy.
Different day. And I see her at the food court, and I'm like, oh gosh, immediate sweats, like just I don't even
nervous
want, like,
laughter, chuckles. I'm in danger.
Yeah, and I finally am like, hey, can we talk?
Can we debrief?
Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, of course. And so
it's like she was ready for it. Like,
she's like, yeah, of course. And so I go and I apologize. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I really didn't realize it until I heard it and saw you guys' reaction and to like play that back. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And of course she's like, no, I know you didn't mean anything by it. I could tell by your reaction that this was just this very, like, you weren't even prepared for what just happened. And I was like, no, I was absolutely not prepared for what just happened. And us having that conversation opened the door to being able to have very, very open and honest, like, back and forth conversations. And she would let me ask everything under the sun. Like, down, like, I remember us driving, we were driving across Sicily, because that's where we were. So we're driving through the countryside of Sicily. And I look at her and I was like, I have a question. And she says, what? And I was like, it's inappropriate. And she was like, what? And I was like, hear me out when I say I know that this is inappropriate, and it's inappropriate because you would never ask me this same question.
Yeah.
But can I ask this question? And she was like, she smiles
just
at her.
Ask your question.
She's like, yeah, what? And I was like, why are you gay? And she was like, it's a good question. Like, because there's so many things going on, right? Where I think that was also this moment in time where people were like, there were maybe a lot of assumptions that you were gay if something bad happened to you, or you were gay if something bad happened to you, or maybe you just got broken up with and now you hate that person. Like,
or you fell down the stairs, like something something happened to you.
There has to be a reason, right? Like, there has to be this reason that you're gay. And obviously anybody listening that is younger than me at this point would be like, no, Brittany, why would you ever ask that question? And would I ask that today? No, I would absolutely not ask that today. But I asked this then. Because I also learned what it was to be gay out of a health textbook, and nobody else gave me information. Mm-hmm. So I got
only know what you know.
Yeah. So I got a crash course of like sexuality from her. And then she had lots of gay friends because it seems like gay friends have gay friends.
Oh, yeah.
So she integrated me and my kids into her and her friend group. So my kids very much grew up always from like itty bitty, like, 3 and 1 years old, surrounded by just an influx of gay people, which thank
Perfect.
God.
That's what we're trying to do.
Thank God, right? Because they are very, they see the world very different than I did. And it wasn't that I had to like force them or teach them or educate them. They just were always surrounded by. And so we have this relationship, which then ends up turning like we ended up with a little relationship.
Ooh.
After a handful of years. I would say she probably falls into, if I had like 5 big loves of my life, like she probably is like sits at 1. I have nothing but strong affinity for her.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a very brief moment in time. It was a very confusing moment in time, and it was obviously not.
You're like Katniss and Peeta, like star-crossed star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, and I mean that didn't stick because I'm not gay. I would also not consider myself bi, but I think when they came out with the term like pansexual, I was like, I could see that, like people loving people, like the person, the moment, that instance, because it certainly has never come up again. Yeah, and that was a very challenging relationship in between like my divorce and things like that.
What a wild countryside time in Italy you had.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I was like we had lots of mini drives, but she let me ask questions all the time, and she was very much like, as long as I
she was
know,
like your gay mentor.
Yeah. And she was like, as long as I know that you're asking questions from this genuine
place of trying to understand true curiosity and not just like trying to be a dick about it.
Not trying to be a dick, not trying to make you a freak show, not trying to like take this information so I could do anything with it. It was really just this like, I needed to learn because nobody had taught me. And what they teach you in a book is this is what it is, but they don't give you anything else about it. And maybe at the end of the day, there's not anything else to give about it. But whenever it's something that's so like taboo and hush hush, and you're 20 years old, you're like scouring the world for information, like, help me understand this, help this make sense to me, because it doesn't make sense. How have I never been exposed to this? If this was normal, I would have seen it already, which, is not, I'm glad that that's not the world we live in anymore. And I'm glad that I had somebody like her that was so willing to like entertain all of my curiosities so that I could have a better understanding and truly genuinely know. And so then somewhere along the way, I got educated. I got a college education as well. But then like where I started out in this, in that area, I started out with a focus on suicide prevention and awareness and our LGBT community. And so my very first job was with Trevor Project. And so it's interesting, like that's such the path from like what I would probably call, if I said the same things today that I said then whenever I was a wee one, right? 12, 13, 16. If I said those same things today, the world would consider me very homophobic. And so to know that like that was a starting point, and then to where I ended. And I'm the one that's wrong in all of that, right? Like I'm the one that like came in with an incorrect knowledge, assumption, education.
I don't know if that makes you wrong though. I think that makes you
uneducated.
Yeah, and I mean that in like a nice way too, right? Like there are just certain things, certain topics that I don't know everything about everything, right? And like I'm sure I've probably said many, and in fact, no, I know I have said many inappropriate things about various things over the course of my life. And I think like until we do the work to kind of try to understand ourselves and like seek out that education, because also from a gay man's perspective, like there is no manual that like there was no like I didn't get like this nice little color coded book printout, whatever, fresh out of the womb that was like, okay, here are all the gay milestones. Here's how you're not gay unless you do this. Because even in the gay community, right, like I mean, I think there are people that can, quote, pass for being straight and they're very mask presenting and things like that. And you would never ask that person probably a day in their life and then come to find out like, oh, yeah, I like being a, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know that was your necessarily like your bad. I think that you were learning, you were young. And I think we all go through that. I know like looking back at my own journey too, like, yeah, I think I've talked to you about this before, but I wish I would have had more courage to be who I am, because who I am right now, who everyone sees me, is definitely not the person that I was even probably 10 years ago. Like, I feel like I am, you kind of mentioned this last week. You felt like I'm coming into my, like my prime, and it's because I'm finally comfortable enough in my own skin to be who I am. Like, even though like, yes, I have a husband, I'm like married, like we have the house, we do all the things, but it's like, it wasn't until probably recently and really until meeting my husband that like I felt comfortable enough to be who I am. And like I remember I used to like on my iPod, like I would have like Share and different things like that on there, and I would never let my friends listen to my iPod because I would be like, no, they're gonna like listen to Share. Like, if I could turn back time, they're gonna be like, this fucking fruitcake over here.
It's crazy that a playlist could like
but that's
alert
what I
somebody.
mean. But no, like literally you could pull up my Spotify and you'd be like, that's Chris, that is that is a gay man right there. So yeah, no, I think all of that to say, I think we're all in a place of like continuously learning, and like even within the community things change, terminology changes as well. Like, it's hard. It's like, do we say LGBTQ? Is it LGBTQIA2S plus?
Correct.
Is like
my brain can't remember all of it, and it's certainly not out of any like lack of consideration for everything. But I'm like,
but it's hard, right?
It's hard
like,
because it changes constantly.
And I come from a place of like, because even in the community, right, like we have different, like some people will say I'm queer, other people don't like the word queer.
Sure.
Like,
some
people will throw around the word and be like I know other gay people that'll be like, LOL, that's gay. But that's just like, but that they're comfortable with that. And I know there are some people in the community that are comfortable saying some of the typically like negative words, because it's kind of a way to like reclaim it, almost like we're reclaiming that for ourselves. Like, you used to like throw around the F word. Now maybe we're gonna throw it around just because we can and it's fun or whatever. Personally, I hate the F word.
It's horrible.
It makes me, I can't even say it like half the time. Like, I see it in movies or shows sometimes and I just like I want to throw up, and I just want to crawl in a hole. And like, because like growing up, I feel like high school people that I grew up with would be like doing donuts in the parking lots in their big trucks, and trying to have
he's from the Midwest, friend. He's
from the biggest
Midwest.
dick off in the parking lot, and they would just throw around like things like that. So now every time I hear that, I shudder a little bit, and I'm like, oh no, that's just
I shudder when I hear anybody say it.
Ooh.
I shudder when I hear anybody say it, and I think like I would have shuddered even prior to being educated on this, because my parents were very much like, this is an off limits word. Like, do not ever, I will like kick you to the moon. You cannot say these words, which is like, okay, well, if that's the only thing you instilled upon in me, then like, thank you for that. Because
thanks for that one piece of knowledge throughout my entire life. Like, all the times I've needed help, support. Thank you.
But thank you
so much for that one time in my life when I needed something. Thank you.
Teaching me about derogatory words.
Oh my God, the thank you. That reminds me of the TikTok I sent you, the thank you. The thank you where he gets up on the thing and he goes down like
oh yeah. Yes.
Like, thank you.
Yes.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, look it up.
No,
be careful what you look up though.
I was gonna say, I jokingly said that at the beginning that I needed an assistant to screen your TikToks that you send me. And it
I said
was
like 20
only
a day too.
I know it was only like a half joke because no, that one that you sent me the other day of her eating her
Canes.
Cane's chicken in the messiest, the most
Fisting
disgusting.
her cane sauce.
Like I literally like verped in my mouth. Like I did. I verped in my mouth. For those of you, Ryan's home. For those of you that don't know, burp is a vomit burp, and I absolutely
It's like sharded.
Ew. Yes. And so I absolutely verped in my mouth watching this girl. I couldn't even watch all of it because I was like, oh my God, this is so disgusting.
Well, she took her chicken tender but then she took her whole piece of bread and just
no, the whole bread.
all
She was like
there.
bread, and she's like,
then
you're extra.
And she starts eating, and she's getting it all over her face.
Over. It was
like,
so disgusting. I'm
girl.
like, ma'am, this is not how we enjoy food.
Like, talk about staying in the drafts.
Yes. Fortunately, I don't like Cane's anyways, but if I did like Cane's, I would probably never...
want some hot, fresh chicken today?
I would probably never go back to Cane's, so...
I'm more of a Slim's chicken person. Chick-fil-A, I hate... Well, I shouldn't say I hate... I don't hate Chick-fil-A.
You don't like their principles they stand on.
We call it hate chicken. Like, oh, do you wanna get some hate chicken? Like, sure, yeah. I think my preference is Slim's chicken, though.
Okay.
I'm not much I can't do KFC. KFC, last time I went, got like a chicken dinner or something, and when I tell you this chicken was the fattiest, undercooked,
gross.
Yep.
I clearly
so
will
like
not be
can't
eating
do
chicken
that.
today. Like now I'm tapped on chicken. You know what? I think that's it for today.
Oh.
Yeah. Otherwise we'll go
ending
into
it on chicken.
We're ending it on chicken. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. What's your go-to chicken place?
Go-to chicken place. Don't forget to like, subscribe. New episodes come out on Mondays. I'm going to drag Chris off of this couch and we're going to go make a TikTok. He doesn't know it yet. Look at him. Look at him.
What? All right.
All right. Until next week, don't be afraid to be great. Toodles, fools. Bye.